I started trying to create products based on what I feel people would like as opposed to what I want to make, it started to teeter over to where it mattered more what people were into than what I wanted my brand to be about. Hi. I've taken a little bit of a social sabbatical. Is that the right word? Alexa, define sabbatical. Okay. Well, yes, I think that is the correct term. I've taken a little bit of a social sabbatical, and so there was no weekly upload last week. I don't think anyone is necessarily looking for one per se, but I'm trying to be disciplined, and if I say I'm going to do weekly uploads, I want to do weekly uploads. But it was a bit intentional, me taking some time away. It's not just been from my YouTube uploads, it's also been like across the board. I haven't really been on Instagram, or at least not like posting or sharing anything. I wanted to take a little bit of time to just like get inspired and get back in touch with my creativity and just think about where I want to go, the direction I want to take things in terms of my personal goals and business goals. On that note, for anyone who may not know me personally, just take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Danielle, and I am currently running my small business or businesses from Japan. I've been living here for over 3 years now, and in this last 6 months, I've taken on entrepreneurship full-time to see where I can go, how far I can go with it, with the support of my wonderful husband. So I've actually tried recording this vlog a few times, in the sense of I had a general topic to discuss, but in reviewing them I realized that something was either missing or I went off on a tangent and it got a bit off topic. So this is technically the third time I'm recording this. I may insert clips from the previous 2 times if I find them relevant or pertinent to what I'm saying, or if it's just something that I may have forgotten in this recording but had touched on previously. So if you see any random clips with me looking different, there's that. Also, loving my afro today. I have not worn just a random plain afro in a very long time. I usually like my afros to be textured, so I'll do what do you call it, like a braid out or something of the sort. And would you believe that one of the things that was putting me off from recording was my hair? I was saying my hair isn't done, I don't feel presentable to just, you know, post something to the internet. Like, that's not my like story, my Instagram story, which is like a very small following. Who knows where your YouTube video could go, you know? And I was saying that I don't feel like my hair is presentable right now, and I have not felt motivated to do anything with it. But I washed it last night. It's not even been moisturized, which is why it might look a little dry. I have not put any leave-in conditioner, no kind of moisturizer in this aside from the conditioner, which I rinsed out. And I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. I saw a video by Sebastian Michael. I hope I'm not butchering his name. If you don't know his music and you're into the R&B genre, go check him out expeditiously. 2 of my favorites are Time. I like both the original and the remix. And what was the other one? Security Code. But he has quite a few that are just... Anyway, so I was on YouTube actually in the mood to watch music videos, because usually I'll just play some music in the background. But today I wanted to see the videos, and the girl, his muse in the video, she was wearing an afro. Turns out she was his actual girlfriend as well, which I found to be quite lovely. That's so sweet. And I was like, Danielle, I found her to be so beautiful. My afro is so misshapen. I found her to be so beautiful, and I was like, why don't you just wear your hair out and record the video? And so here we are. So as I was saying, you see, I have a tendency to ramble and go off on a tangent. I apologize. But that's what makes it real, and I want my videos to be authentic as possible, you know. Minimal edits where I can and whatnot, but we'll see. Because I do still like a somewhat polished look. I like authentic, but nice. What was I saying? Right, a short period of reflection, and in that time I realized that I want to take my self-care business in a different direction. I say a different direction, but ironically enough, it is the direction in which I wanted it to go initially in the first place. When I started what is now Sam Sonder, I had intended for it to be a holistic wellness type brand. So self-care, and not just, you know, the more recent cliche term of self-care, where people are talking about just, you know, skincare products, or, you know, they try to make it seem like a luxury thing rather than a necessity. Or at least that's the way that I've seen it interpreted recently. But I wanted Sam Sonder to be self-care in a holistic sense, so mind, body, spirit, everything. Wellness in its totality. I wanted to also, my products had like purpose, like true purpose behind them. So rather than just making oils that smell great, I wanted to do things that did something for the user. So for instance, when I was younger, I had really bad eczema, and I was thinking of how uncomfortable I felt, and aside from when I had flare-ups, I would also be thinking of how self-conscious I felt afterwards, because like sometimes I might have a little scarring, and I was thinking about people in similar situations, and I wanted to make body oils that had ingredients to target things like that, like hyperpigment. And we're back. So I believe when my camera so rudely cut off, I was saying that I wanted to make products for people who had very mild symptoms of eczema. I am not a dermatologist, mind you, but I'm very much into herbalism, and I have taken a few courses on the subject or the topic, and I'm still continuing to self-educate on, you know, the benefits and joys of herbalism and using herbs and botanicals to, well, not to, but as a more natural way of solving some of the issues that you may be having. And you, I mean we, as in people. It's not intended to be a substitute for modern medicine. It is more so just an alternative or something to use in addition with your doctor's opinion, of course. I think there's a truck passing by, one sec. Okay. When I started Sam Sonder, I think the first product I technically made was my mindfulness cards. So I had created, designed, and had manufactured a deck of mindful affirmation cards. They are basically like positive self-talk cards, and they offer like words of advice, etc. That would have been the first thing that I made, and then I took some courses in herbalism in an attempt to educate myself on what herbs and botanicals can be used for what, like symptoms such as inflammation or stinging, say like for sunburn, very mild things, nothing necessarily well, I don't want to say life-changing, because sometimes the smallest bit of relief can be life-changing for some people. That's certainly how I felt when I finally got prescribed something that helped with my eczema. So I feel like I babbled a bit there, but to summarize, I'm essentially trying to go back to my original reason, my why for doing things and methods of wanting to do them. I feel as though in more recent times, like as the business progressed, I started trying to create products based on what I feel people would like, as opposed to what I want to make. And of course, a balance is necessary, because if you're not making or creating things that people want, how are you supposed to sell them, you know? But it started to teeter over to where it mattered more what people were into than what I wanted my brand to be about. So I'm going to just gradually change and rebrand. I'm trying not to rush into this, because I have a tendency to just be like full force ahead when I want to do something, but I'm trying to take my time and make sure that I'm doing things right, because I do not want to have to do this again. This being resetting or rebranding. Mind you, this is because this is what I felt people would respond to better. This is what I felt people would want. But once again, not necessarily what I wanted for the brand. So I suppose this last change or restart was inevitable in that sense. But yeah, it's gonna be very gradual, because I still have like a ton of packaging and whatnot to use, and I quite frankly don't want to just throw them away. So this is not immediately in effect, but when you do see me changing over to different packaging or using a different name, that's what's happening. Okay, Sam Sonder was great initially when I started. It was meaningful to me, but I'm contemplating reverting to the name Good and Plenty, just because I feel as though the name in of itself is associated with such positive meaning, like quite literally the word good, and plenty, like plentiful, abundance. All of that is what I'm trying to harness or manifest for my business. So I may gradually rebrand from Sam Sonder to Good and Plenty, and I am going to be revisiting with my current product list. Otherwise, I'm going to be just taking some products off that I don't think resonate with the direction I'm trying to take this business. And yeah, I'm a bit nervous. I was very nervous to make the change because I didn't want to seem flip-floppy, but I also feel like this is the time for me to do these things when I don't have a huge brand following and not a very concrete sense of brand identity. Not to mention, ironically enough, I feel as though in the last 2 weeks I've seen so many different videos popping up about rebranding, people saying they're rebranding, and these are people with a much bigger following than mine. So yeah, I think the time is now. I also have a second business that I want to work on. It's not new, of wanting to start a home decor business. I already have a name in mind and I'm very excited about it, but my husband has pointed out to me that I have a habit, because I swear I have a touch of ADHD and I have a ton of interests, and rather than focus on one specific thing, I'm diverting my attention to so many different projects. And he basically told me that I'm trying to hack down one tree at multiple different spots instead of just hitting it in the same spot all the time. And I agree. I think if I focus my energy on one business, well, yeah, at least my personal business, because I share another business with him, I might have a higher likelihood of success. And then later this year, I'll introduce my home goods brand to you. Just trying to give myself, you know, some grace and a higher likelihood of succeeding, I suppose. I watched a video from a lady earlier this week about having multiple interests or being multi-talented and having to niche down. That was a really good watch. If I can find it again, I will, or if I remember to add it, I'll try to link it somewhere, maybe in the description box for anyone who relates or who is interested in seeing that video. But yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for spending some time with me today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how things go with the changes that I'm going to implement for Sam Sonder. Yeah. Alright, well, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week or weekend wherever you are, and I will see you in the next vlog.